People of Jamaica so far have been an amazing experience. They're very welcoming, very happy people. They like for people to come up to them and just say hello, how are you, and they're always willing to have a conversation. One thing I noticed about the people here is that they're not in a rush. So if you want to talk to them, they'll give you the time and talk to you and ask you questions, and so that's one thing that stands out. Usually in Canada, people are busy, so they're always like looking at their watch and stuff. So I notice over here people they like to spend time and get to know each other, and it's been a pleasant experience with that. So one of the interesting things about Jamaica is that they are very big on religion, especially on Christianity. One thing I noticed when I got here was that church is huge. People take church very seriously, and on the weekends, it's very common for the churches to be packed. Whether it's Saturday or Sunday, some people go to church on Saturday, some on Sunday, and they have different timings. And usually on the weekend, if you ask someone to do something or come out or you want to spend time with them, it's very common for you to hear them say, "Oh, let me check what time I'll be done from church," or that I have to go to church at this time, so maybe after that I'll meet you. So church is a big part of their culture here. And another interesting fact about Jamaica is that it's the #1 country in the world to have the most amount of churches in a small area. So you find different sects, different denominations, so that's very common here.
Ahmadis are Muslims who believe in the Messiah and Mahdi, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salam, who came to revive Islam and restore morality, as was prophesied by the founder of Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. Ahmadiyyat is fast growing across the globe, with members exceeding tens of millions in over 200 countries.
Ahmadis are the Muslims who believe in the Messiah, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, peace be upon him. He claimed to be the reformer of the latter days. He claimed that he has come to unite humanity on one God, one humanity basis. He presented a peaceful picture of Islam, Islam being tolerant, understanding, and compassionate way of life. And he established a community based on this teaching. When Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad completed his mission, he passed away, and he was succeeded by a series of successors known as Khalifas. The present Khalifa is the 5th Khalifa, and his name is Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad. He resides in London.
With humble beginnings, the Jamaat was first operating out of a Jamaican parish called Trelawney. Brother Abdullah Malcolm of Canada, originally from Jamaica, offered his services to spread the message of Islam Ahmadiyyat in Jamaica.
I preach it right around the country, anywhere I see people and meet people. And as far as how I see it, the people said that the brand of teaching that we teach, they love it. A lot of people with good heart love the brand of teaching that the Ahmadiyya movements teach, because we are non-violence, we deal with tolerance, and we love to forgive, and we renounce all form of terrorism and any form of evil.
Since 2007, the number of members in the community has rapidly grown. With Hazur Anwar's, may Allah be his helpers, approval, the planning of a mosque began. Muhammad Sadiq Sahib of Canada Jamaat oversaw the construction of the mosque with the guidance from Canada.
With the rapid growth of the Jamaat in Jamaica, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih approved construction of a mosque as the Jamaat identity here in Jamaica.
My involvement with the Jamaica project began in early 2007. Our current Amir Sahib, Malik Lal Khan Sahib, who was at that time chairman of the IAAE Canada, sent an email to the members of the IAAE asking for volunteers to go to Jamaica to assess and do a survey about building a mosque in Jamaica.
After this, we secured the piece of land. Maulana Mubarak Nazir, the missionary in charge of Canada visited Jamaica and laid the foundation stone for the construction of the mosque. This was done in November of 2010, and then the mosque construction started.
So Masjid Mehdi, for those of you who haven't seen it, is a strikingly beautiful white building in the middle of some lush green landscape of Jamaica. So it's nothing like any other building that you would see in Jamaica. So it stands out, and stands out so well that any person you meet who's been to this area knows this building. So every time I've come to Jamaica since it's been built, at immigration I only have to mention that there's a white mosque in Old Harbour, and they say, oh yeah, we know it. And also, even I've met people in Toronto who have knowledge of this area, and they know about the Muslim church on Old Harbour Road. So it's a beautiful, prominent building, and it has a beautiful minar and dome, which this is the only mosque in Jamaica which has this purpose-built minar and dome. So it's a jewel. It needs to be seen and to appreciate its beauty and how it stands out in the landscape. We
have the local members of the Jamaat who help with the maintenance of the mosque. The land is a lot large. During the construction, there is a river running through part of the land where we did not put the chain fence link around it. That part of the land had been given to the members of the Jamaat for farming.
The formal inauguration of the Mehdi Mosque took place on July 10, 2011, which was attended by roughly 300 people, including His Worship Keith Hines, Mayor of the City of Portmore, St. Catherine.
I've known this community, I think, for the last 4 or 5 years, certainly since they have been in Jamaica. And my impression of the community is a community that I would consider a peaceful community. And my impression, again, I've met with the community in Canada. I've been to their headquarters there in Canada. I've been to their convention as well in Canada. And so it is one of the communities that I think all persons should be proud of as a Muslim community. And if every Muslim could emulate what I see of the Ahmadiyya Muslims, then certainly there should be a great comfort in dealing with them.
In addition to spiritual and moral development, local Ahmadis strive to improve their standard of living with community development initiatives, interfaith dialogues, and humanitarian efforts through the assistance of Humanity First.
Jamaat can help Jamaica spiritually by drawing them close to God, their Creator, and also because of the poverty rate in the country, Jamaat can assist in so many ways, like maybe establishing schools or clinics or hospitals, so that at least the poor could also have some kind of assistance in that field. In the future, we have plans of establishing Humanity First in Jamaica. Humanity First is a non-profitable organization which normally helps people in terms of disaster or in terms of when people are facing difficulties like flood or something. They go there and assist. And of course, they assist without looking at one's religious background. They assist everybody irrespective of one's religion. So we hope that in the very near future, Jamaica will start benefiting from Humanity First.
Alhamdulillah, the Jamaat has existed in Jamaica in terms of registration about 4 to 5 years. And we've had a lot of activities apart from the religious side. We have organized outreach programs, back to school programs, giving children or students some books, education materials like pencils, pen, and other things. These are some of the things we do. And also about 2 months ago, we have started adult literacy program where elders of the community who did not have access to education are being assisted to use our facility to learn, read, and write.
Jamaica is a country, in my opinion, that has a great influence over the rest of the world. Culturally, their culture has influenced a lot of other countries, and it's just a small island. So when I finally came to Jamaica, although I had appreciated the culture and from afar, when you get here and you're in the heart of Kingston and you're meeting with the people and you're walking the streets, you get a sense that I really can't put into words, that this is a very down-to-earth culture. This is a very culture that is inclined towards spirituality. There's a lot of beauty here and there's a lot of struggle. And that makes me think of Islam, because Islam is about a struggle, an inner struggle for spirituality, and it's also very beautiful. So I feel like there's a harmony that's sort of innate in the culture with Islam. You know, whether Jamaican people think that is another question, and we'll find that out, you know, soon enough. But you know, I definitely feel that Jamaicans have an intelligence that is geared towards religion and spirituality.
The first Jalsa Salana Jamaica, the annual convention, took place on July 8, 2011. This historic Jalsa was attended by around 80 members, including local and foreign dignitaries. It is unfortunate that due to radicalized terror groups making news headlines, Islam has become synonymous with violence. However, through the message of the promised Messiah, alayhi salam, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat aims to restore Islam to its authentic image of peace, tolerance, and love as taught by the Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, the founder of Islam.
Islam means total submission to the will of God and to be at peace with all his creatures. And when I study the Quran from Al-Fatiha to the last chapter of the Quran, I don't see where it teaches us to do evil to anyone. So I find terrorism in Islam very strange, because 20 years, I think anybody studying something for 20 years is supposed to understand the depth of it. And listening to our leader, our Khalifa, and reading the books of the promised Messiah and reading the Quran, terrorism and extremism have no place in Islam.
One of the messages we carry around is our motto, love for all, hatred for none. I remember one day I was at a bus station and a lady saw my badge with this inscription on it, love for all, hatred for none. And the lady was amazed and said, wow, what a wonderful message. Then I said, this is a message of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. So he went back and said, wow, how could Muslims have this motto and still killing and committing these kind of atrocities? So I told her, yes, we are a different brand of Islam, and this is what we believe in. So finally she said, it would be very interesting or very wonderful if the whole world will come under this banner, love for all and hatred for none.
With everything happening around the world in the name of Islam, especially with extremist groups committing acts of atrocities and violence, it's a natural concern that not just Jamaicans, a lot of people in the world, but I've noticed here in Jamaica, many people have deep concern about how Islam would, how will it be perceived in Jamaica? And this is a question that many Jamaicans have. So that's one of the reasons we're opening our doors to our Jamaican brothers and sisters, that look, this is what you hear on the media, but we want you to physically come in, meet the Muslim brothers and sisters, and to judge for yourself, is Islam what you see on the news channel, or this is the real Islam that we want to show to them.
Islam is a peaceful religion right from the onset, from the time of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. But what we are experiencing these days is like some few bad nuts who are trying to hijack the religion. So the violence that we see on our screens, television, and the newspapers, Islam is not responsible for it. Whoever does anything wrong must be held responsible. If it's a Jew or Christian, we don't have to put any religion, we don't have to, violence has no colors, has no religion. So whoever does it, you must uphold the person as a criminal or a bad person. But Islam is not responsible for any of the crimes going on in the world. Islam is a peaceful religion.
These days, the world is suffering from many problems, whether it is political, moral, or even financial. People are turning towards religion for answers.
When I first came into the Ahmadiyya community, at the time they was getting ready to build this mosque. Father Edris, that's Brother Edris, was down in Churchpen with a little conference about Islam. So at the time, I was asking him questions about Islam because I was into Islam already from in the United States, but the teachment where I was getting wasn't too appropriate. It wasn't too right. Because you cannot teach me about love, because God is love, and you cannot teach me about love and then next minute you teach me about hatred, racism. So I never find it too appropriate. So when I migrated and came down to Jamaica, I was speaking to Brother Edris, and him explained to me. I'm say, yes, you know, at the same time, just like a Rasta, I was a Rasta also. And I continue and listen and do my researches, which when I find out that Ahmadiyya, love for all, hatred for none, and I said, that's a very nice motto. And no matter, like I said, no matter what race, black, white, no matter what, it's one God who created us by a clot of blood. So in that case now, Father Edges explained it, how Islam work, how Ahmadiyya work, and I ponder about it. And I say, yes, this is the right teachment. And so I say, I take the bayat, and from there I look back.
And I find it as the only religion that can take you onto complete righteousness. So I take it a pleasure to give Allah a reason to care for me. So I accepted Ahmadiyya Muslim, and I find no fault with it. My intention is to continue until death do part.
Well, my name is Ian Taylor, and you know, growing up, I love the Rastafarian faith. You know, it's like a culture. I haven't seen it religious at that time, but just the way of living, you know. So I grew up under that. So after really understanding certain things, I know that you have to deal with spirituality, religion, you know. So I studied Christianity, and I see it was failing. Then I studied Judaism, and I've seen Christianity is a breaker from Judaism. So therefore I say then I would have to try and study the Islamic. So, you know, doing a little reading and thing, until when I reach here in Olaba, I seen this building, and then I run into the community.
I was Sunni for 3 years, yeah, and I was seeking a more peaceful, more relaxed, more calm Islam, as according to the meaning of the word Islam. So being a Sunni Muslim for 3 years, that was a very bad experience for me. And I decided that now it's time for me to leave the fold of Sunni Islam. So that's when I started researching because I didn't want to leave Islam itself, so I started researching for other sects within Islam, and this is when I stumbled up the Ahmadiyya Muslims. And I did the research. I said that they are more peaceful towards other religions and towards other Muslims, and that is the Islam that I was looking for.
One of the biggest desires we as the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Jamaica have is that we give a very, very big open invitation to welcome the people of Jamaica to our mosque. They should know that just because it's a mosque, that doesn't mean that they're not welcome. They should feel that this is part of their community. They should feel free to come here, you know, whether they want to worship, whether, you know, they want to use our facility, meet the people. We're their brothers and sisters, and that's what we want them to know. It is not something that they should fear or, you know, have any type of hesitation. So this is part of their community, and we'd love for them to come out and, you know, talk to us about the faith.